We get a lot of questions about our Hensley TrailerSaver fifth wheel hitch. If you are not familiar with Hensley's products, I'll put a link up here at the top of the video so you can see one that I did here not long ago. I actually put a camera on the back of the truck and pointed it down toward the hitch so you could kind of see exactly how it works. It's really quite amazing. The hitch that we have the TS3. There's several different versions. Actually has airbags in the front, and then it's got shock dampers as well, which really smooths out the ride. It's really, really nice. So we're going up I-75 right now. The road is relatively good. You can see what's going on right now. There's waves in the road, typical, but you can see there's hardly any movement. I'm using this camera specifically because this camera here does no stabilization. So what you see is what you get. If we hit a bump, you're going to see us vibrate. So we're going to go up to Atlanta. We're going to go through Atlanta and go on up into North Georgia. We're coming up on a bridge right now. There's something about Georgia bridges. The access isn't that great. So we're 1, 2, 3, here we go. So that's hitting the bridge, going over the bridge, coming off the bridge. That one wasn't too bad. I think there's some construction up here. We're also going to get on 675. 675 is bumpy. So we will turn the camera back on for that and let you kind of see how that's going. But it makes a huge difference in the way we travel. I mean, huge difference. It takes all the shock out of the really bad bumps and levels off the back of the camper. It doesn't beat the camper up so bad. I kind of give you, for instance, before I close on this segment, we were getting ready to leave one time, and I took my cup of coffee that I put in my Black & Decker thermos, and I had forgotten it and left it on the countertop. And I told Joan, I said, when we get to our destination, I left the coffee back there. We're going to have coffee all over the place. I'll mop it up. It's going to be my bad. And when we got to our destination after driving about 5 hours on a lot of bad roads, that coffee cup was sitting in the exact same spot. So it works. It works. You still are going to feel the shock in the truck to some degree, specifically in the front end. There's not a whole lot that you can do with a hitch to improve the front end shock. Although I am going to be changing out our shocks to some really nice Bilsteins. I think those are 4600s. I'll be putting those on when we get back home. And I've already ridden in an F350 that had those, and it made a huge difference. Okay, enough of that. I'll show you some more road junk and how the TrailerSaver behaves on that as we go forward. We've made it to the edge of Atlanta, and we are getting ready to get on 675. Again, I'm using a camera with no stabilization. And this is a great example of what you have to put up with when they have replaced the slabs of concrete. So we're feeling a bit of a jolt up here. We're doing 65, but I'm looking at the camera in the side mirrors, and it's just as stable as it can be. The issue is more the front end than it is the rear, and that's where we take the shock. So that was that one little spot there. We've kind of pulled out of that now. One of the reasons I'm going to show you 675 is I got a lot of uneven concrete slabs, and you'll be able to kind of see that vibration, or maybe very little vibration, but it's pretty bad. And you get, when you get a lot of weight, we got 14,000 pounds of fifth wheel behind us. I'd have to go back and look at the tongue weight. I want to say it's something around 3,500 4K, something like that. So we're up on the main part of 675 now. I'm going to stay in the trucker's lane, the far right-hand side. So this gets beat up a little bit more than what I would have over on the left-hand side. Here we're coming up on a bridge. And you can see that. It's not violent. Now, if it's really, really bad, and we really take a hard shock, Meek and Meek and Molly, the kitties back in their pet tube back here, will pitch one holy fit and tell me about it. So so far they're being good kitties, and you can kind of see the vibration going on here. It's got a pokey truck up here. Let me get around them. So you saw a lane change, how non-eventful that is. Now this concrete is wavy. It's got a lot of movement in it. So just kind of give you an idea, when you set up your TrailerSaver, how much air do you put in? It took me a while to trust this, but it's calibrated from the factory. There's a white line that they say this should be level with the main support platform. And you drop your camper on top of it, and you make sure there's enough air in the bags for that to be level. I've tried to overfill it. It makes a horrendous ride. And I've underfilled it, and it makes it spongy. Too much shake. So it just kind of floats. It's too soft. But if you follow what the manufacturer says, what Hensley says, and put it right where it's supposed to be, it gives you a nice ride. And we're on some really bad, uneven concrete. This is about it. Not too bad. This is 285, 11 o'clock Monday. Not bad coming through Atlanta. We're coming up 74 split, like you go up to Athens. Mostly what you're going to see on the perimeter drives are lots and lots and lots of tractor trailers, because they cannot go through downtown Atlanta without a permit. But it's not bad, and we're maintaining speed limit 65. Just zipping right along. Edges are a little beat up, a lot of cracked concrete, some potholes. Not terrible. What do you think, Joan? It's not a bad ride, is it? And I think part of this too, if you're brand new to the the fifth wheel scene, and and towing, and you hit your first rough road, and especially if you've been in a Class A with the big wheels, or you pulled a small pull behind trailer, you get this first fifth wheel experience and feel that shock, and you think something's wrong, and it's not. It's just you're just taking that pop on the back. And I think we've probably become a little desensitized to the some of the bad stuff. We're probably out of the worst of it now. I've kind of shut this down. Just a couple of comments here in closing. I don't care what you do in a fifth wheel, you're going to feel some vibration. I mean, you're seeing it right now, classic case. Bad roads. We've been on I-10, Baton Rouge to New Iberia, Lafayette, as they say down there. Horrible road, horrible. It will beat your brains out. It's just terrible. And a lot of it is just because of, just the way the ground has settled. And there's a lot of oscillation in that road down there, and it is terrible, just absolutely terrible. And it beat our camper to death. Another section, and I don't mean to be picking on Louisiana. Another section that's really bad is I-20 through Shreveport. We drove through there a couple of years ago, and I mean there was chunks of concrete missing in the middle of the interstate. So there's nothing you can do about that. You're going to take a shock. I don't care what kind of hitch that you've got, and you're going to feel it, and you're going to feel it a lot. All right, I'll close it out now. Hensley TrailerSaver. I think it makes an incredible ride. So I'm going to get my eyes on the road, quit looking at you, and we're heading to North Georgia, have some fun.